Yes, everybody. Russ, the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. It's just a few hours, well, an hour or so, until we get the team sheet for the exciting game against Man United at Old Trafford. If anyone was at the John Lyle event on Friday night, E13, fantastic event, over 28 ex-players. Uh, there was the guys from there was there's the youth cup side from 94, 74. There was obviously the FA Cup winners of 75. There was 1980 winners. There were boys of 86. There was European Cup winners. There was boys of the 90s. It was a brilliant event. And yeah, the apathy that we're feeling as fans is being felt by those ex-players, definitely, in terms of sort of this season. In fact, even yesterday, I was walking down Oxford Street, um, and met my old friend Jim White. I hadn't seen Jim for a couple of years. And we was having a chat. Joe was there, so she was bored, useless, talking about football. And he was like, "It's just a bit sad at the moment, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." And we've got a few games left, so there's the opportunity today to make it. Give us something. Give us something. That's what we want. Something to go into the pre-season. We'll go the close season into the pre-season. And as always, what we try and do is predict the starting 11. Now, obviously, the press conference, the only real bit of team news really was Edson Alvarez. He's his absence. He's conspicuous of his absence in the last sort of few games. It was a self-diagnosed back problem for the first, and it seems to have kept itself going. Graham Potter mentioned that he's had an injection on his back and he's back in the squad. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him, in all honesty. Apart from that, the only other injuries, obviously Crescencio, Somerville, and Antonio. Everyone else, what we're led to be believed, is fighting fit. Now, what I think is interesting is who he's going to play. Because obviously, with the announcement the other day on Friday that Fabianski, Danny Ings, Vladimir Sufel, and Aaron Cresswell will all be set to leave the club, will he play them? If he's happy from, that's what I say. If you're happy enough to play him now, why wouldn't you offer him a new deal as well? That type of thing. I think now we're going to see none of those involved. He'll probably in about an hour's time they'll all be involved, but I don't think any of them will be involved. And then they maybe for the Nottingham Forest game, a few of them get that sort of last clap. It's not easy with a goalkeeper, but you think maybe someone like Cresswell will come on for the last bit of the Nottingham Forest game to say goodbye. Obviously, Cresswell, after Mark Noble, the most amount of Premier League appearances in a West Ham shirt. Same with Suf to some extent. Danny Ings, not really. Maybe Fabianski as well. He's been here for a few years now, so obviously we signed him since from Swansea City when they got relegated. But anyway, let's crack into the side now. No sentimental stuff here for me. Areola in goal. Now with Cresswell not going to have his contract re-signed, I would assume, because I just think it a bit odd if you say you're not going to get a new deal, but we're going to play against Man United. It's like, well, you might as well not. You could probably, you could, he won't, but you could give someone like Kalen a run out, or, an Ezra Mayes, for example. That would be a turn up for the books, or Edge Colin Beckis. It won't happen. But he'll probably put Mavropanos in, won't he? So Mavropanos, actually, no, Mav will probably stay in the middle, maybe, with Todibo, because I like Todibo on the right. He's forming a really nice little partnership with Hammer of the Year elect Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who has apparently won it by an absolute landslide, unsurprisingly. Spider-Man is in that side. I think you'll put Emerson in. I'm not sure what's happening with Ollie at the moment. There was reports of a slight injury, and I think Emerson again is fine there. I think we're definitely going to go for the free at back as well. That seems to be his mantra now. And then the midfield will be quite interesting. Obviously, someone like James Ward-Prowse was dumped from the side. Whether there's a spot for him to come back in, I don't know. Obviously, we've got the whole thing with Paqueta at the moment. That's going to be interesting to see how that's handled. Some would say, football's his release; he needs to play. But obviously, we saw the outpouring from the Tottenham game, and for his own mental health, would it be wise to just have time away? I don't know. I will assume. I don't know. I mean, personally, if he's fit and his back's all right and his head's all right, that would do me. Maybe switching out him for someone like Carlos. You sort of a like for like there, possibly. And then I think the rest picks itself. I think you've got Bowen, you've got Kudus, and you've got the BFG up front. And that's how I think we're going to be lined up. I think we're more 5 at the back, to be honest, rather than 3-4-3. But 3-4-3 in attack, of course. When we do attack, that is. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. He might go would he go really rogue and put? Thing is, he doesn't need to put Souček in for height when you've got Füllkrug up front. That's sort of when you're playing Bowen and Kudus up front as a 2, then you bring in Souček for height playing as a 10, so you've got the option for the long ball. Yeah, I swung it over, and for me, Paqueta in if he is up for it, basically, and if he's not up for it, I have no problems with that at all. We saw the how visibly shot he was from the Spurs game. So if he's not mentally right, no problem. You've had 2 years of turmoil on your head, mate, and so I think there's a bit of compassion needed. If again, we're not playing for much. We're probably playing for about £6 million, in all honesty, not much, but a couple. It's positions. If you're 17th to 16th, that's £3 million. So it's. As we say, it's Danny Ings' wages, but you're not paying his wages next year. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And also, the game's, we're all quite bored at the moment of West Ham. I get that. But if you want to jazz it up a little bit, down here, this one, was it this one? Yeah, down here. Hit the QR code. We'll put a link in the description. Match bingo. Get your bingo cards. Get your dabbers and dobbers. 2 fat ladies, you and your mother. And might win a couple of quid. Over 18s and UK based only. Unfortunately for our foreign friends outside of the UK. As I said, West Ham we won it. West Ham Network won it. Won the jackpot for the Brighton game. With the guys at Match Bingo kindly donating the winnings, which weren't really our winnings. It was like money to show you how to play the game. To the Iron Supporting Food Banks and Anton's dad's Cancer Trust, the Ayrshire Cancer Trust Support, Ayrshire Cancer Support Charity, I think it's called. And speaking of the Ayrshire Support Trust Charity, we are doing a raffle for a Jarrod Bowen shirt. I've been showing this because I think it's brilliant. I think if you can get it signed, inscribed Bowen's on fire, which is very unusual for him to sort of acknowledge that, really. But yeah, there'll be a link in the description below for your raffles. £5 entry. We'll be giving away a few entry prizes for half time as well. When we do the watch along, we've got some new sign bits we're going to be giving away as well. So make sure you join us for that. And for those of you who did win stuff before, so we've had some bits which have been won before. We've got Frank Lampard Senior print. We've got these have been won already. This one from the bowling, Tony Gale, people like that. Jarrod Bowen himself signed. Jack Burkett image photo. Jack Burkett 65. Look at that, brilliant. I've actually got some envelopes so I can send out next week as well as the winners from the Man United game later on. So anyway, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and I'll see you very, very soon, peeps. Much love, motherfuckers.